In this first tutorial of our V8 engine block series, you will learn Fusion essentials along with tips and tricks to make this course a success. This includes learning how to organize your files, creating a new design, understanding the toolbar and navigation bar, and how you can automatically convert from imperial to metric. Stay tuned to the end to see how you can win a free SpaceMouse Wireless Kit too. Welcome to the Learn It channel. Let's make a V8 engine. So welcome to the first tutorial in this entire course in how to design, how to assemble, create a motion study, render, a bunch of goodies that all relate to this V8 engine. So we really hope that you're going to like this. It's for beginners, but I'm confident that intermediate and advanced users can benefit from this as well. If you want to get right into designing and you don't want to learn all the nitty-gritty behind the scenes, then go right on ahead to the engine block that will be released at the exact same time as this first tutorial. However, in this tutorial, we're going to talk about all of the necessary things that I think a lot of beginners or basic users and even intermediate users can benefit from. Fusion has just come out with a major update as well, so we're going to talk about that. So let's get right into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is file maintenance. So let's go to our data panel up here. Top left, we have the grid pattern. Click on that. You can see all my current projects right here. All projects, you can pin certain ones, which I have done. So if I just want to see these main projects right there, you can just go pinned. But let's go back to all projects. And because this is a new series for all of you, V8 engine, let's go ahead and make a new project. V8 engine has now been created. Now you might be wondering, how can we change this icon? Like I've done above, I've made these custom icons right there. Well, please comment in the comment section below if you'd like to see that, because we have to go right into our personal Autodesk account, and it kind of brings up a little bit more intuitive version or advanced version of the data panel where you can organize all your files a little bit more. But please comment that if you'd like to see that, and I'll probably post it on our Patreon site. Anyways, now that we've got our project done, let's click on it. Now, this is where we organize it into folders, and there's a bunch of different ways. Everyone has their own method. If you work for a company, there's going to be a standard out there of specific protocol that you have to follow. But this is the way that I like to do it. For this particular tutorial, at least, I am going to create a new folder based on each of the workspaces. So if we click on the workspace, we've got a design workspace, we've got rendering, animation, simulation, and drawing. So I am going to create folders for each of these different types of aspects that we're eventually going to get to in this course. Make sure to subscribe so that you keep up to date to all of these different lessons. We're going to have a bunch of them. So let's go ahead and create those folders. So we're not going to get into a couple different types of workspaces, for example, generative design, simulation, or electronics within this particular course. However, if you'd like to see those things and maybe how they specifically relate to a V8 engine, well, please comment that in the comment section below. We'd happy to consider it in the future. So now that we've got each of these, this is looking great. Let's go ahead into our design first of all. And you can see that there's nothing right there. So this again is the engine that we're going to make. We've got all sorts of really cool components. And of course, as we hide different components, which I'll just show you right here, let's go on ahead and maybe, let's do something like this here, valve cover. Okay, so we've got all sorts of different things, and of course we're going to add animation to this as well. But there's a lot going on over here. So anyways, we're going to go through all these different components, and I think you're going to find it's easier than you think, especially if you take it one step at a time. And I'm going to teach you as many tips and tricks as I can think of, compiling all the knowledge that I've used so far in previous tutorials. We're going to hopefully teach you that here. So here is the first thing we're going to tackle. If you create a new design, so right now I have one design open. If you're ever wondering what this asterisk is, what that means up there, it means that it's not saved. So as soon as we save it, and we save, you'll see that asterisk goes away. So if you ever see that it's up there, it means that you should just go ahead and save your design. Save your sanity, I say, by saving. Anyways, this is what you'll see when you open up Fusion nowadays. I'm going to create a new design, and you'll see this. This is brand new. This is exciting. And basically, we can get into this in the future. It's fine. Just for simplicity's sake, let's go ahead and make a hybrid design. Now, unit system, pick whatever you like. If you're in the metric world out there, pick millimeter. If you're in the inch world out there, pick the inch. It's fine. We're going to get into how you can easily change the unit of measurement without even having to think, because all of our drawings are going to be in imperial to start, and then I'll also provide them in metric, imperial and metric for all of our Patreon members. So if you'd like to get these drawings, then head on over there. I'll put a link in the description below. So let's just select inch. Again, pick whatever you want, doesn't matter. And then we're going to focus on hybrid design. We're going to be creating all of our components within one design file. So there's these mean different things, and we won't tackle it right now explaining exactly what these mean, but let's pick hybrid design, and I'm going to go create new. There we go. So as soon as we do that, our design is still entitled untitled. So here we go. Let's just save it, and let's call this our V8 engine for YouTube. There we go. Let's save that. And you'll see as soon as I do so, the name is changed. And now we have our design file over here. If we ever want to find that, again, we just go back to our home. We can go down to our project, V8 engine. And then again, because we have everything organized, let's go over to design. And there it is, V8 engine for YouTube. You see there's nothing over here. There's a blank canvas, we say, and that's because we haven't done anything in our design. So let's talk about some of these other tips and tricks, things that you need to know to make your life a little bit easier. Let's start from top to bottom, we could say. So remember up here, we've already talked about workspace. We're going to focus on the design right now. At the top, we have all of these different tabs. For the majority of this course, we'll probably focus just on solid. We won't get into surface modeling, I don't think. We certainly won't get into mesh, sheet metal, things like that. Actually, we might get into sheet metal, I'll have to see. But let's go to solid. As we change these tabs, they bring up a host of different tools. So let's go back to solid. And then we have all of these tools right here. These are just tools. These are shortcuts. The way that we find all of the tools, it's under the create drop-down menu. So for example, we have this right here. Just hover your mouse over it, tells us what it is. It gives us a description of what's going on. Create sketch. But why is this a shortcut? Well, let's go to create drop-down, hover over sketch, and we've got ourselves, I believe this is called a kebab menu. So a kebab menu, this is great. Anyways, click on that, pin to toolbar. If I deselect it, you see now that shortcut is gone. Go back to create sketch, click on that kebab menu, pin to toolbar, and there it comes. It goes at the end of the shortcut. So I'm just going to drag that shortcut here and bring it back to the start. I've created a sketch. I'm just going to press escape. You can see down in the bottom there are all my different keys, strokes, so you can follow along whatever I'm doing. Sorry, I don't have that for my mouse. I'm trying to find an app that helps me to do that, and I can't find one yet for the Mac at least. So anyways, we've got all our shortcuts up here. The ones that you use the most, make sure to shortcut them. Let's talk about another tip. We could also press the S button anywhere on our screen, and that brings up our design shortcuts. So here we have the shortcuts right close to our cursor, wherever our cursor is. That by pressing S will bring up the design shortcuts. How do we get to that? Go to create, go back to that kebab menu, and we can pin to shortcuts. So you see, if I press S, sketch isn't there. But if I go to create shortcut, hit the kebab menu, pin to shortcuts, now by pressing S, well, there it is. And I believe, yeah, you can reorganize them if you want. Now, I don't want that there, so I'm going to go back to that, pin to shortcuts, take it off. That's great. Let's talk about some other things here. Let's go down to our navigation bar. So you can see we can pick between free orbit and constrained orbit. We can use look at, which we're going to get into. Look at is a great command. We can pan, we can zoom, we can fit, we can do all sorts of different things. Let me just show you one thing. I'm going to quickly create a box just to show you a couple things here. Okay, I'll create that box. Let's go OK. If I want to fit this into my canvas, I can just hit the home button here in the view cube and it fits it. So if I zoom out, hit the home button, again, it zooms back in. Now, take note with your scroll wheel. Let's go over here to our preferences. There we go. And I'm just going to scroll on down, and where is it? reverse zoom direction. So if you're moving your mouse and the part is going the wrong way, well, just select that. I selected it on. So now when I pull the mouse wheel close to me, it zooms away. And when I roll the mouse wheel away from me, well, then it zooms in. So if you don't like that, just switch it, whatever you want. But yeah, what we can do is always pick a face, and then we can select the look at, and it will go normal to that face. Let's just go on over here, look at, perfect. Now I want to show you one thing. How am I doing this right now? Well, this is using a 3D connection mouse. So if you're interested in getting one, I highly recommend one. And you can look at the link in the description below. It's an affiliate link. So if you do purchase one, please use that link. It might give us a small commission at no extra cost to you. It really helps the channel if you were to consider that. Okay, let's keep on going here. A lot of people out there prefer to have grids. I don't know why exactly. It helps them maybe visualize what plane this is on. What I would like to recommend is turning that off, because as soon as we go into a sketch, you can see it pulls up that grid anyways. Now it's a different type of grid. Yes, I understand. But sometimes turning on the grid makes things a little bit difficult to try and follow. So anyways, whatever you prefer, let's go to display settings. You can go visual style and leave shaded with visible edges only. We're going to talk more about this eventually, especially when it comes to drawings. But this is probably what you'll work with most of the time. Environment, this is great. Dark sky, it changes everything. Please note, if you were to pick this though, and I were to say, click on a line, it should turn black or it should turn white or something like that. In the dark mode here, or what is it called again? The dark sky, those colors might be a little bit different. So please note, I am going to be working with Photo Booth. And if you're not in Photo Booth, then you're just going to have to use your imagination. If I say the color of an edge or a line is a certain color and you don't see it that way, don't comment. There's no need to comment. Just use your imagination. You're in a different environment. Colors are a little different. That's all. But you can pick different things here. Gray room. Why would you want to pick a different environment? Well, it all depends on how you need to visualize it. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes you're better in a different environment than another. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to go back to Photo Booth. Now, here, let's just deviate for a little bit here. Let's go back to preferences. And what you can do under theme, you can turn on match device theme. And this will take into consideration your dark mode or your light mode or whatever the case is, and it will change it automatically. I'm going to keep it on Fusion Classic over here. One other thing before we continue, Z up, or as we say in Canada, Z up. Z up. So why Z up? Well, if you're working with a 3D printer, generally 99% of the time out there, actually I don't know any 3D printers that don't have Z going in the up direction, but I prefer that because it's the same as a 3D printer, and most vertical milling machines or machining centers, horizontal machining centers, the Z direction is different. But we're going to pretend like we're working with our base table on the bottom, and then Z is going up. So if your view cube doesn't look like this, or let's just do something here. I'm going to bring back that timeline marker. If I create another sketch, if your sketch, when you create a sketch, if your construction planes don't look like this, it's because Z is in a different direction. But blue here is representing Z, red is representing X, and green is, let's just flip that around, is representing Y. So that's great. I hope you do the same. Let's keep on going. I'm just going to bring back this timeline marker. Don't worry, we're going to get into that, but you can grab this and you can move it, and you can also go back a step, forward a step, and so on and so forth. So you can also change the camera here to orthographic and perspective. Leave it on orthographic. Here, let me just show you why. Perspective warps the piece. It makes it look more realistic, yes, but here's the thing. If you look at a face, look what happens when you look at that face. You see this perspective going off into the distance. So no matter where you put that, you can see perspective always kind of warps. It doesn't even warp, it's more natural. Yes, I understood. But if you go to orthographic and you hit that face and right click and go look at, is it here? No, it isn't, sorry. We're gonna have to click that face and go look at. you can see we're looking at that exact rectangle with no distortion. It's used more so in design, but again, this is all dependent on your preference. Most people just use orthographics. So let's stick with that. Do whatever you want, doesn't matter to me. Now, let's, okay, so we talked about that already. Viewports we're not going to talk about because that's used in some specialized situations. Now, let's, just before we finish up here, I want to talk about units of measurement, because I would say about 150% of my comments, okay, that's a little exaggeration, are about units of measurement. And ones don't like that I either use imperial or metric or whatever the case. Don't worry, don't cry over spilt milk. Let's just go back into our design, and here we go. Let's assume that you're in imperial and you get a metric value. Don't worry about it. Type in 16 mm, and that will be 16 millimeters. Fusion will automatically calculate it. So here we go, 16 millimeters, but Fusion automatically calculates this and does the conversion into imperial. The same thing can happen if we go to document settings up here, and right now we're in units, inch, ounce, mass. If I change over to metric, don't worry about it. Go OK. I'm going to double click this cube to edit it. And now look at this. If I want to put in any value, it's going to default to metric. So 10 is going to be mm. But look at this. I could either type in inches, which doesn't usually work actually. You can try it. Doesn't matter. Oh, let's just try it. There we go. 10 inches. Does it work? Yes, it does. Beautiful. But you can also use the short form, which is the double quotation mark. Okay, that's 10 inches. We can go 0.1 inch. So even as you see, I'm in metric right now, but I type in 0.1 inches. Fusion automatically does the calculation for you. Let's just go back there to prove it. You see right here, 2.54, 0.1 inches equals 2.54 millimeters. Now, just to show you something funny, I could also go like this. 0.2 feet is the single quotation mark. So 0.2 feet. Now that doesn't seem to work for us, does it? No, it doesn't work. That's interesting. Okay, well, don't worry about it. There we go. It's very easy. Whatever you're in, you can see with the drawings that I'll provide. And again, you can screenshot these, no problem. You might have to do a little bit of Google research on that to figure out how to do a screenshot. But you can screenshot the drawings for free. Or if you'd like to support what we're doing, head on over to Patreon, become a member, and you can download the first part, the engine block, the official PDF drawings that you can use to follow along with this tutorial, which I highly recommend, and we appreciate any support that you can give. So I think that's it. If you're wondering about anything else, please write a comment in the comment section below, and hopefully I'll be able to address it in an upcoming tutorial. So just before we finish up this tutorial, please stick around for two more important things. First of all, we'd like to send out a huge shout out to our members. Thank you so much to our YouTube and Patreon members. You've been fantastic, extraordinarily supportive. And we know that you've also benefited highly from these tutorials. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Lastly, we have a brand new SpaceMouse Wireless Kit 2, the mobile CAD and 3D solution from 3D Connection. This is very exciting. As you can see, it comes with a protective carry case, both for the SpaceMouse Wireless Bluetooth edition and the CAD Mouse Compact Wireless. And I think it also comes with a mouse pad. Yes, it does. CAD Mouse Pad Compact. USB-C cable, all sorts of goodness. Anyways, here's the thing. So we'd like to give this away. We'd like to give it away to somebody out there to show our thanks and appreciation. All you have to do is this. All you have to do is comment something meaningful. I don't want to put it out there. There's a bunch of tutorials out there where they're like, well, comment anything you want, and we don't really care about what you comment. No, I would love to hear from you. What have you benefited from by watching these tutorials? What do you like about our channel? What do you not like about our channel? Any constructive feedback or any appreciation that you show genuine, I will consider it. Please comment it in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. I'll try my best to respond to you as something meaningful as well. So what I'll do is I will take those comments from each tutorial. You can only comment once per tutorial. Let's make it fair for everyone. But comment in each tutorial as part of this entire course. What I'll do is I'll take all of those comments and I will pick one random person to give this to. So I'll send it to you anywhere in the world that I can send it to. If I can't send it to you, then I'll pick the next person on the list. It's as simple as that. I'd love to share this with you. It's going to make your CAD experience with Fusion or any other CAD program much better. And I'm sure that you'll love them. So anyways, that's it. All the official details will be in some sort of link down below. Hope you win it. So that's it for now. Head on over to tutorial number 2 as part of this whole course, and we're going to get into designing the engine block. So see you soon.